Are you a financial advisor who works at a bank? This is the video for you. Today, I'm going to share strategies that will help you generate more leads, more business, and close sooner than later. Yes, as a bank advisor, you have tons of opportunities walking into the bank every day. Needless to say, one that comes right on top of my mind is the high balance report, and which you don't have access to, but the bank side does. So one of the things that you can do is really work with your tellers and your bankers to really shortlist those new deposits that have come into the bank. And what you can do is, which is a very non-threatening way, is just really sit down with them on a day-to-day basis. Really, and one thing that you have to absolutely do is be consistent with it till they get into this rhythm of referring those clients over to you. So you would want to sit down with them and said, "Hey, Mary, can we sit down and go through the deposit slip, the deposits that came in today, and see if there are any opportunities?" And you may or may not, they may or may not share with you, but you can always ask. I'm like, okay, you don't have to share, but could you go through that report and let me know if there's somebody that you could possibly introduce me to, right? Ask for that introduction. And so put them on that pedestal that they are the ones who are going to give you the business. I know it may or may not work, but you have to try. And when I say this, it's really, these videos are really meant for advisors who are between in the production stage of 5 to 10 years. If you're an established advisor, the chances are that the branches already know, the customers already know you, and so you've got yourself established. But if you're between 5 to 10 years of production, you always want to be closing business. You always want ching to happen, and get hold of any opportunity. So these are the people who will have access to those deposits and will have relationships. So really sit down with them. There's usually one or two people who've been there over 10 years, maybe 20 years, they're close to retirement, and they know every person that walks into the door. They know their personal and their professional details. They know where they live, what they eat, what their routine is, who is their doctor, who is their caretaker. I mean, they know it all. And those are the people that you really want to have good relationships with. So really carve out that time. In fact, if what I did back then was attend the morning huddle, they have be there at that opening procedure and sit down with them and introduce yourself and be a part of the team, is what I'm trying to say. Be a part of the team and tell them how you're helping clients, so they know what is it that you do. Oh, yeah, he's a financial, he's a FA, he only needs big money. No, 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 that is true, we do, but at the same time, you do not want to ignore people who do not have enough or significant balance here, because what it is you, most majority of the time, the balance is somewhere else. If you are at ABC Bank, the chances are he's got million plus at XYZ and EFG. I mean, on an average, research and study tells us an individual banks or does business with 5 institutions. So even if it's not 5, even if it's 3, but those are the opportunities that you can go after. So really establish that close relationship and bond with your team, and really share with them what is it that you do, what is the value that you bring. And the 3 things, always keep it to 3, because that's all the memory retention is, and it's only getting smaller. So 3 things that I do for my clients is I help them grow their money, I help them preserve their money, and I make sure that they are able to sustain the same lifestyle when they are getting closer to retirement or when they are in retirement. You have to really vocalize very clearly, consistently, on what is the value that you bring to the table when they send the client over to you. What are you going to do for them? Oh, they were making 4% in a CD and suddenly it's going to be 10%. No. You have to kind of break it down and simplify it at a fourth or a fifth grade level. Yes, the more you simplify, the easier it'll be for you to explain what you do. And once you start doing that, those referrals will be so smooth and consistent and easy that, trust me, you'll be like, oh, what is, so you actually have an in-house audience that you definitely want to leverage. That is one of the reasons why bank advisors have more leverage, because they have access to that audience, that client base, and people want to go there. So that's one thing. The second strategy you can use is with the same audience, your in-house branch team, is really have a one-on-one connection. And there's always one or two people who are more interested than others. I was one of them when I started my career 20, 30 years ago. No, 20 plus years ago in East Coast. I was the curious one. I was an advisor back in India with my dad, came here, started at the entry level in the bank. And then I was like, oh, these advisors, they can do it. I've done this. I can do it. What do I need to do? Refer more. Da, da, da. I mean, I got it down. Like in 1 year, 5 months, I got my licenses, and I was a licensed banker. And then I'm like, okay, next, what is it? Series 7. All right, I'll go get that. So, but I got everything under my wings. But one of the things that I observed was those advisors that I was working with, they really came in the morning and spent that huddle time with us where they shared what they do. And the second thing was, really ask those one or two people who are really excited about your position and what you do, sit down with them and show them your process. It is a time investment that you will have to do, but trust me, it will pay off. Show them exactly the way you profile clients, the way you greet them, and what is your process. You try to listen more and talk less in the first meeting, and really write down your notes and show them that needs assessment or a profile sheet that you have. What is your process in place, and what do you do? And when you pick up the phone, talk to them. How do you schedule your meetings, and so on and so forth. Don't go into the technical aspect at all with them. They're not going to understand, and it's not going to work. Just keep it simple, but explain what you do. The third thing is, if you have an advisor, a licensed banker who's good at referring, but he's not able to qualify the lead, that's a big challenge. I mean, they may have 100,000 or 200,000, but they may be using that in 3 weeks to buy a real estate property. That's not a good lead, right? And so there's a lead qualifying coaching that you as an advisor should do that with your banker. How do you do that? You sit down with them and ask them to shadow you to your meetings, whichever one he has referred. And like if they've referred a client, ask him to join you when you're sitting and asking them, so he or she gets that confidence. What are the questions that need to be asked to pre-qualify that lead? So really leverage this team that you have, and you can just rinse and repeat this process. If you have multiple branches, do it with every branch. Set a date, get them breakfast or get them Starbucks, whatever works for you. Do something as a team thing, and then do it individually, because that's how it works. I mean, back when I was in the banking world, I used to go behind the teller line. I don't know if they allow that anymore, but I used to go behind the teller line, talk to the customers, say hi, hello, just get familiar, just be, that's just because a lot of advisors, it's a personality thing. We have to wear several hats. We are therapists, we have to listen, we are teachers, we are coaches, we're a life coach. There's so much that goes in, and then you just keep rinsing and repeating this process, and do the same thing with your mortgage partner, do the same thing with your business banker. And one thing that I want to really highlight, instead of asking for business, what you may want to do is give before you ask. I've always believed in this, and it always works. Give before you ask, and coach them on what is it that you're asking. but in a very simplified version. It has to be so simple that even a fourth or a fifth grade level kid can understand. Once you simplify, and you want to do the same simplicity, you want to use the same simplicity with your clients as well as with your teammates. Really help them, educate them, because you could be talking about AI and they may not even know how to operate Excel or Word. They just didn't have to. It's not they don't want to, they just didn't have to, Um, truth be told, if I could never be an Excel expert. No, I couldn't. The only reason is I never had to. And I would practice and I'll fall off the way. I would do it and I'll fall off the wagon because it's like I'll forget because I didn't do it on a consistent basis. So, but if somebody simplified it for me, which YouTube did, I'll just take a crash course and I'll go, oh, okay, I get it, and I'll do it again. And if I didn't do it for 3 weeks, it's gone. So simplify it and see the benefits. Let me know in the comments field below what do you think about these suggestions, and if you had what kind of challenges you face, and if you would like me to make more such videos on how to really strengthen your relationships with your in-house team. But keep one thing in mind: it's give and take, not take and give. Always give before, if you have any. And one thing before I let you go through your book and see for opportunities that might help, that may help them. You'll be a hero in their eyes. Thank you.